2024 draws to a close for Manchester United on Monday night against Newcastle United at Old Trafford. The festive period was a disaster for Manchester United, with Ruben Amorim losing 4 of the last 5 Premier League fixtures. Amorim has lost 3 games in a row, something he had never endured before in his managerial career. The most recent of these losses, a 2-0 defeat to Wolves, was the most concerning as United looked terrible. Manchester United returned to Premier League action at home to Newcastle on Monday evening. Ruben Amorim's side will be looking to avoid a 4th straight defeat in all competitions and a 3rd consecutive league defeat when they face Eddie Howe's high-flying team. Newcastle have won their last 4 matches, but have only won once at Old Trafford in 52 years. Now, United will be hoping to avoid breaking a 62-year record by not being beaten for the 5th time in a month against Newcastle. But avoiding defeat is a lot easier said than done, with Newcastle in form and Amorim's options looking slim. Things have been nowhere near as bad as recent form suggests, with Amorim likely confident that eventually he will get his rewards. Against Newcastle, though, United will be without Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte through suspension. Amorim will go into the game knowing that he will need to make at least 2 enforced changes to his midfield. Both Bruno Fernandes and Manuel Ugarte are suspended. Fernandes was sent off against Wolves last time out, whilst Ugarte received his 5th booking of the campaign to trigger an automatic 1-match ban. Additionally, the status of Kobbie Mainoo remains up in the air. He is a doubt after being seen limping after the Wolves' loss. Meanwhile, both Mason Mount and Luke Shaw will be out injured, along with Marcus Rashford, who seems set to depart. But Eddie Howe's side have several selection issues to deal with for their trip to M16. At least 7 players are a doubt for the game at Old Trafford on Monday evening. Striker Callum Wilson has a hamstring injury and is not set to return until February, as is centre-back Jamal Lascelles, who has a knee injury. Goalkeeper Nick Pope is another player suffering with a knee problem and is potentially out until January. Defenders Emil Kraft and Sven Botman are also set to be out until the new year. 2 other defenders, Valentino Livramento and Kieran Trippier, are doubts for the game, although Howe is optimistic for the pair. Man United are not in great form but have history on their side heading into this game. They have lost just once in 39 league matches at home against Newcastle. David Moyes was the manager the last time they lost to them on their patch. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe is also yet to taste victory at Old Trafford, failing to win in any of his 7 visits. He has drawn twice and lost 5 times. The Red Devils will be hoping Newcastle's poor record on their patch continues as they aim to end the year on a high note. Now, what to expect? This promises to be an intriguing clash, as United aim to bounce back while Newcastle seek to capitalize on the home side's poor form. Notably, only one of the last 10 league meetings between these teams has ended in a goalless draw, suggesting an open and exciting game. Amorim is likely to stick with his preferred 3-4-2-1 formation, although he will need to adjust his lineup to compensate for the absences of Fernandes and Casemiro. Howe typically deploys a 4-3-3 setup and is unlikely to deviate, especially considering Newcastle's recent success with this system. Livramento has been preferred over the more experienced Kieran Trippier at right-back this season, and he could come back into the side after missing the last game. Key players to watch. On United's side, Amad Diallo. While the Ivorian winger has not registered a goal involvement in the last 2 league games, he remains a bright spark for the Red Devils. Diallo's creativity and flair could be key to unlocking Newcastle's defense. Noussair Mazraoui. The Moroccan defender has not been at his best lately but remains one of United's most reliable defenders. He was able to keep Jeremy Doku quiet in the Manchester derby. He could be tasked with doing the same to inform Anthony Gordon. For Newcastle, Alexander Isak. The Swedish striker is in sensational form, scoring in each of his last 5 league games. Only 2 players have scored more than him in 2024, making him the Magpies' primary threat. Anthony Gordon. The winger has been one of Newcastle's standout players this season. His pace and trickery on the ball could cause problems for United's defense, particularly in wide areas and in transition. So with these absences in mind, here's our predicted lineup. It has been a nightmare few weeks for Onana, which has sparked United's interest in multiple new goalkeepers, but he will hope to return to his form of a few months ago versus Newcastle. Starting on the right of the back 3, we expect will be Yoro, who has been quietly impressive in recent weeks despite the defensive woes. In the middle of the back 3, Maguire has been a regular fixture in recent weeks with Amorim a huge fan. Maguire could very well wear the captain's armband. On the left, once again, Martinez should start with a lack of alternatives presently for United in terms of a left-footed center-back. Hopefully, he will be better than we've seen in recent weeks. With goals being hard to come by, we predict Amorim will go more offensive with his wing-back selections, and Antony therefore could start at right wing-back. A huge opportunity for the Brazilian. Another Brazilian with a big chance to impress is Casemiro, who will certainly start with Ugarte suspended. Amorim needs him on top form. With Bruno out and also potentially Mainu not fit, partnering Casemiro will be either Christian Eriksen or Collier. Amorim really should go with Collier in this case, as playing Eriksen against this dynamic Newcastle midfield is a terrible plan. £19 million star Diogo Dalot has to be dropped amid his appalling form. So we expect to see Mazraoui on the left, allowing the more offensive Antony to play on the right. Ahmad is still an automatic starter, but we need him to get back to some form on Monday after his poor decision-making cost United on Boxing Day. The Ivorian magician remains United's most dangerous player. With Bruno out, Garnacho has a golden opportunity to stake his claim and endear himself to Amorim. Garnacho has struggled under the Portuguese coach to date, but there have been signs he can shine. Finally, starting up top, Højlund is the clear first choice, and with this game being so important, we think Amorim goes all out and trusts the Dane to get him the goals he needs. This game against Newcastle isn't just another match, it's a moment of truth for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. With key players out, youth stepping up, and both teams fighting for critical points, all eyes will be on Old Trafford. Who will rise to the occasion? Share your thoughts on the lineup, the tactics, and the key players to watch in the comments below. Hit that like button if you believe in a United bounce back, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth discussions, match previews, and exclusive updates. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment as we follow United's journey into 2025.